love this little sign, but I'm ready to let it go. Hi guys, welcome to my channel. I'm Melinda, plain and simple. Over the holidays, my videos were mainly focused on Christmas themes, but I did do some decluttering other than Christmas stuff. So most of it, I just tucked it away in this my little niggles box. And then this right here, this is a sign that I bought several years ago. And I have used it in different rooms in my house. I've been thinking about letting it go, but I keep finding someplace I can put it. And so I decided to wait until after Christmas to see if I wanted to use it again. So I put it in the little kitty dining area, but I keep looking at it and thinking, no, I'm ready to let it go. So since Valentine's Day is coming up in February, I'm going to go ahead and let it go now because maybe somebody else would like to use it as Valentine decor. So this is going to be leaving. And then also my tripod. Now, this is not a very good quality tripod. The reason I wanted a tripod is so that when I did intros, I would have a way to, something to put my camera on so that I didn't have to hold it. Because sometimes I just have to hold it and looking at myself. And that can get a little tiring with your arm and holding things up. So anyway, the reason I bought it was mainly for this. I never used this part. I didn't like it. I tried it. I didn't like it. So I never used that part anyway, but it was all attached. I couldn't take it off. But this kind of was always wobbly. It didn't work very well, and it was always wobbly. And now it just doesn't work at all. It falls off. It won't even stay on. So it is time for that thing to just go ahead and leave. It's useless to me. Lately, the intros that I've been doing, I've been having to hold the camera up and just look at myself with the camera. So also then in this box here, I have a few more things, and I will be showing you after this. I'm going to show you some things that I decluttered that are already gone as well. So I got a little clip of them, not a whole lot, but I got a little clip of them. So stick around to the end so you can see that as well. And then I have some other things too. You'll see that too. So anyway, this is just some little pajama pants, and they're fine. I've used them, but I've noticed when I wash them, toss them in the dryer, they just do not want to dry with everything else. I get them out and they're still wet. Well, that's just annoying. Everything else is drying. It's messing up the whole drying pattern, so they can go. And then I have this pair of pajamas, and you know, I never actually wore them. They're a really nice pair of pajamas, but I have noticed that some of the fabrics that they make pajamas and gowns and stuff out of these days is just hot. You know, it feels good. It's really soft and all that stuff, but it is just, when you wear it, it's just hot. Even in the winter, it's just hot. And it came with this little mask thing too. I bought that like 2 years ago, and I'm over it. I'm done. And I'll show you why in a second. I never wore that one, but I'll show you why in a second. I'm over that one. And then I also have these picture things. Now these I bought at, I think it's not really a flea market, but it's a little place. It's like a peddler's mall type thing where people set up their booths, and I think that's where I got them. Maybe, or yeah, I think that's where I got them. Anyway, so I've had them sitting around different places, but I don't know. They never really appealed to them. I thought they appealed to me, but when I got them home, they didn't look as nice as I thought they were going to. Let's put it that way. And then this is the reason that I know I want to let go of those pajamas, because I have this gown, and it is a nice gown. It's, you know, it's a nice pretty print, and it's comfortable and everything, but you know what? It is hot. Even in the wintertime. I mean, I'm through menopause, and I don't want to be waking up sweating just because my gown, whatever fabric it's made out of. So I'm done trying. I gave it a couple of winters. It's winter. It's cold now. And I'm like, no, I'm not doing it again. I'm not putting myself through that. Life is too short to torture yourself. So it's gone. And then I have this. This was actually a placemat, and I cut it down and put it on top of the little red table that my husband's grandfather made for us when we got married. And I wanted to use that table somewhere. So we have a little bitty trash can, and I set it on top of that in our kitchen, and I put this on top of the table under the trash can to protect it. Well, I'm not using that table anymore for that purpose, so I'm letting that piece of the placemat go. I don't need it anymore. And then I have a pair of footies here. They had a hole in one of them. And then I also, recently, I bought these. This is a pair of pajamas, and I thought they would be comfortable. It's a different type of fabric from those, but you know what? It does the same thing, and it itches. It itches me, so I'm not keeping it. I just bought those not too long ago, and I gave it a shot. I tried, but they're gone. I'm done. And then here's the other piece of that right there. So that is going to go. And then before we get to the other parts where I have little clips, so stay tuned for those. But before we get to that, I'm going to show you this. This is some other stuff that I didn't want to forget to kind of remind you about decluttering. And I did this for myself. I went in, it was either at the end of the year or the beginning of this year. I went in and just went through my YouTube, who I'm subscribed to. Now, I'm not saying you need to go in and unsubscribe to everybody. I'm not saying that at all. But I had some channels that I was subscribed to that had to do with, for instance, when I was putting down my floor in my family room. So I had subscribed to them, but I'm not intending to put down another floor. And if I do decide to do that in the future, I'll either know how to do it, or I can always find them again, or find some channel again for whatever purpose I need it. So I went through my YouTube subscriptions, and I just looked to see if there was any channels that I really don't need to stay subscribed to. And so, like, for instance, me, if you are over me, if every time my videos pop up now or in the future, and you're like, she is so last year, I am over her, then you know what? Pop on there in the comments and say, thank you so much. I've appreciated everything, but I'm out. You know, it's fine. It's okay. Life ain't forever. Well, nothing's forever, but you know, it don't have to be forever. So if you've got some channels that you are subscribed to that you no longer need to be subscribed to, then it's okay. They'll be okay. Especially if it's a big channel, I'm pretty sure they'll be okay. Now, one thing I do is if I am subscribed to a channel and I find that I am not gravitating to that channel, but they are a small channel, like, if you know, because I think it's 1,000 subscribers, and some people do want to get monetized, and so I look to see if they have over their 1,000, then I feel more comfortable. If they're just a little channel, though, even if I'm not watching, I might stay subscribed just because I don't want to mess up their, you know, getting monetized thing. But you know, y'all have to make your own decision on that. But like I said, though, you know, there might be channels where at that time they were useful, but maybe you ain't laying a floor no more. One floor is enough. So you don't need a flooring YouTube channel anymore. Just saying. And then also, you know, look at your Instagram and your Facebook. Now, I looked at, and there's a lot of others. These are just ones that I have and that popped up in my mind. Facebook. I went on my Facebook and I went through all of my friends, and I kept most of them. Probably got rid of half of them, though, or almost half, because I said most. So I got rid of probably almost half, but I did keep most of them. Put it that way. It wasn't much. But I had some that were from groups that I used to be in, or from some that were people that I used to work with. And we never communicate back and forth. And you know what happened when I started deleting them? Because at first I was just unfollowing or whatever it is. But then I started just getting them off, because I thought, we're not communicating. Now, I kept the ones I do communicate with. But you know what happened when I did that? I started seeing things popping up in my feed from the people that I do still want to have a communication with and stuff. So I still love those people, but I didn't communicate with them anyway in Facebook. So I've decluttered not the people, but I've decluttered that stuff. And it was because what it does is it keeps you from seeing what you really want. And so I'm giving you permission if you want to do that. But you don't have to. It's up to you. And then email. I'm real bad about not going in and getting rid of emails. That just is one. It's like paper clutter for people or nails on a chalkboard. I can't stand it. It drives me crazy. So I have to remind myself to go do that every once in a while. And then also things like newsletters. Like a lot of times you get them through your email. And so, like, if you are subscribed to newsletters, I've been subscribed to newsletters and I never have time to look at them. So I finally went in and I started, and I know my accent's coming out again. I don't know why it does that, but it does that sometimes. But I go through and I get rid of newsletters and stuff like that I'm not using and not reading, and so that way my email is not getting loaded up with a bunch of stuff that I just have to delete and never look at. Also, text messages. I'm real bad about just never deleting things in my phone either. And that takes up memory, I guess, or something. But, go through and see if you've got text messages. You don't have to do it all at once. Just do a little bit every day. And over time, you'll start getting it, do a little more than you're getting in. And then eventually you'll start getting it down a little. And then look at your calendar, your things that you have to do, your obligations, groups that you're in, things that you are committed to, and see if there's, do you have too much on your plate? Do you need to remove some of that? Now, one of the things that I did for myself this year, and some of you may have noticed and some of you may not cared or may not have noticed, but normally I do the 50 items a day in January declutter. I didn't do that this year. Why? Because it's stressful. It's a lot. I enjoy decluttering, but it is a lot, even when you enjoy it. And one, I don't like counting. Ironically, I do not like counting the items. I just like to do it. And what was the other reason? There was two things. I don't like counting. Oh, the other thing I don't like doing, which I don't do this when I'm doing 50 items a day, I don't like timers. Now, ironically, I have a thing called 10 minutes better, but I don't use a timer in it. That was the other thing I was going to say is ironic about the things that I do. I don't do those. And another thing I'm not doing, unless something really in particular comes up that I want to, I'm not doing collabs other than the ones I'm already in. I'm doing tiny tidies, 10 minutes better. I think that's all I'm in. Yeah, I think those are the only two I'm in. And so I'm not going to, unless, maybe a one-on-one collab, but I'm not joining collabs because for me, it's stressful. And so I'm taking the stress off of my plate. I'm doing that for myself. And then the other things maybe look at are your hobbies and your crafts and expectations. So one thing that I had was too many hobbies and too many craft supplies. I had so many craft things and things that, and I expected myself to get things done. I expected myself, like I had all these things to do, but there wasn't enough time in the day to get done what I had on my plate. I had so many books, there was no way I was ever going to read all of those. So I kind of started letting go of some of that, and I'm continuing to do that. So maybe look at your stuff and see if there's anything on your plate or in these other areas that you can make a decision and choose to let it go. You don't have to, but I'm just saying maybe look at some of that and see if you want to. And now I'm going to show you a couple of other things that I let go over this holiday season. It wasn't Christmas, so I didn't put in any Christmas things, but one of them especially, one is sentimental and one's pretty big. So, and you won't be expecting it. Till next time, happy decluttering. Bye. This picture belonged to my great-grandmother, and one of my niece's daughters said that she would like to have it. So I'm going to give it to her, and she's going to use it as a vase. I think that's a wonderful idea. For me, I just had it in my pretties cabinet. I wasn't actually using it anywhere. So now it can actually be put to some use and be loved and enjoyed by someone else in the family. She doesn't have to keep it forever if she doesn't want to, but I think it's a very pretty piece, and I'm glad that she wants it and that she's going to actually use it. Somebody is coming to pick up the treadmill today. Declutter muscles exercised. I didn't see that coming, but I sure am glad it did. And now that big old thing is gone, there's empty space instead. Don't need to get another one. The void it left is fine. Declutter muscles exercised, and this time they weren't mine. What you doing, Pumpkin? Yeah? Are you going to declutter some stuff? Yeah.